In the wake of the recent church killings in Minneapolis, the school shooting in Colorado, and the assassination of Charlie Kirk, gun control is once again headline news. The same question is always asked. How can we reduce or eliminate gun violence? The answer is simple. Invent a magic wand that we can wave to make all guns disappear from planet Earth. Barring that, it seems that the solution is an emotional and sometimes complicated one. Or is it? For over 100 years, Americans have been asking the same questions. Do we allow easy access to guns, or do we make them harder to obtain? Some people say that we should have unfettered access to guns as the Second Amendment permits. Others say that we should have stricter gun laws to make it harder, or even impossible, to obtain firearms. While we continue considering each of these positions, here are some additional thoughts we might want to consider. How are these killers getting their hands on these guns? Are they obtaining them legally? If so, would tighter gun laws have prevented them from getting them? If not, tighter gun laws are not going to help. Are they obtaining them illegally? If so, tighter gun laws are not going to help. Have they obtained the gun from someone else? For example, is there a 16-year-old school shooter who snuck their parents' weapon out of the home? If so, do we need stricter laws against the parent for being negligent? Should the parent be punished as an accomplice to the shooting? And let's consider other things than the weapons themselves. Let's look at American culture. Do we live in a culture that fosters, respects, and celebrates life? Or do we live in a culture that celebrates force, violence, and death? Do death penalty laws and abortion laws create an environment that holds life sacred? Or do these laws send messages that it's okay to kill? When our government deals with international conflict, do they promote peace on earth and calm, rational discussion? Or do they quickly resort to threats and military action? And what about free speech? During the past 15 years, we have seen a rise of, and an abundance of, vicious name-calling. The media and citizens alike throw around words like racist, fascist, homophobe, bigot, Nazi, and white supremacy. Is it any wonder that some people latch onto these words and think that they are helping society by extinguishing the recipients of such insults? And what about our entertainment? How many movies and TV shows have regular use of guns, fighting, hatred, paranoia, anger, violence, and killing? With an abundance of gun violence on TV and in the theater, is it any wonder that impressionable, angry, and/or sick minds are resorting to real-life violence? In a free society, we are allowed to have such entertainment. However, maybe we are all part of the problem by popularizing this type of art. Also, should we reevaluate our culture of see something, say something? Should it instead be see something, do something? Granted, we don't want to encourage people to put themselves at risk if they are uncomfortable doing so. But what if we foster an environment where we encourage those who do feel capable to save and protect others, instead of waiting around for the police, military, or lawmakers to sweep in and save us? When we look out for each other, we might be able to reduce the effects of violence, and at the same time deter a potential killer, since they would likely feel like their efforts would be quickly thwarted. What about the role of mental health? Are we asking why so many young men are choosing violence as their voice? Are they being heard before they scream with bullets? Or are we so busy debating magazine capacity that we miss the human being loading the magazine? Consider the isolation factor. How many of these shooters are described after the fact as loners or kept to themselves? In an age of unprecedented digital connection, are we more disconnected than ever? Does 1,000 Instagram followers equal one real friend who might notice when someone's sliding toward darkness? Here's a thought. Since parents typically pay for their child's cell phone, maybe we should encourage society to limit children's screen time to 30 minutes a day so they can experience and nurture real-life experiences and relationships. Finally, what of the role of the media? How many of these mass shooters are being influenced by the media in the sense that the media makes these people celebrities by giving them a lot of attention? Freedom of the press must be maintained, but what if we didn't give these murderers any airtime, except in cases where authorities need help from the public to locate them if they are at large? But in cases where they are apprehended quickly, perhaps they need never be exposed to the public and therefore never glorified. And here's a question we never ask. What if both sides of the gun debate are right? What if guns are both a constitutional right and a public health crisis? What if the problem isn't choosing between these truths, but learning to hold both at once? My friends, this spotlight is not intended to answer all these questions. It is merely intended to bring them to light, because we rarely hear about them in the mainstream media or even in social media. Lady Justice is often symbolized as wearing a blindfold, not only to prevent bias or prejudice, but also to prevent emotional decision-making. Getting to the root of the gun violence problem may actually be the magic wand that we are looking for. Because maybe, just maybe, the answer to the age-old gun control debate is that we've been asking the wrong questions all along.